We're going, right? All right, double check. Yes. Hello. 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 Good morning. It is I, your host, PoGokeRo, with yet another amazing, fantastic, scrumptious, titillating, invigorating. I turn my eye to the fascinating show I have before me. Hello, America. You in the future who will see this. Yes, here we are. This is the week after the week of craziness. My goodness. Here, let me show you where I'm at. Stream help. Let's watch the stream help. There we go. Nice. Okay. Back to game. There we go. Here I am in the nether. It's another rail line. Yes, I've made another rail line. Get out of here. This is my amazing nether rail line based on K1 Gaming Ken's 2018, I think, rail line. It's really great. I really like his rail line. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my base. Oh, too loud, this music. That bumping, right? Sunday morning. Yeah, I love it. Check it out. Into my dark little base. Let's turn this down a bit. Alright. Yeah. So I got some bamboo growing now. That's kinda nice. And it's coming out. It's growing fast. That's very pleasant. I'm using shaders, BSL shaders. I think this is BSL. Shaders, options, video set, shaders. Beyond Belief Legacy Final. These are pretty amazeballs. These, I'm getting like terrible frames per second, but it's beautiful. It looks beautiful, right? My goodness. And I like the way it transitions from outside to inside. Like, check this out. Like, oh, it's dark. Oh, my eyes have to adjust. Oh, so nice. Yeah, I like this. So, my goodness, let me recap the things that have transpired since we last spoke. I mean, I did a pirate broadcast, but no one watched it except for me. So maybe the future will be different. But in the present time, that's the way it is. No one watched it but me. But I did a pirate broadcast about it. About the announcement. Sure, let me show you. Well, what can I show you real quick? What have I changed besides bamboo for scaffolding? Which here, if I don't have it, I can't use it. So let me just grab it. There we go. Okay, and then here's what I did. Is that Billionaire's line takes forever in the overworld. So I made a shortcut line in the nether. Billionaire's line of injustice. So every brick on this line is $800,000, almost $1 million, to get to $1 billion. 800,000. Every brick is about $1 million. So dumb. But yeah. Goodness graciousness. So what has happened? Okay, so it came out that Trump extorted the Ukrainian president for money, for aid. He wanted the Ukrainian government to investigate Joe Biden and Joe Biden's family, and he held hostage the military aid that Congress already approved for Ukraine to fight the Russians that are invading their country right now. too much. Okay, so this is going on. This is happening. And we found out about it. And Trump released the transcripts of, well, no, he released his version of the transcripts. His memos of the transcripts. And in his memos that he released, it says, yeah, hey, this is a nice nice aid package we have here, but I want you to do us a favor. I want you to investigate Joe Biden before I give you this aid package. So man, that poor president of Ukraine is getting squeezed from two sides. One side from the Russians and the other side from the American president. Like, that's nuts. What a horrible position to be in as a little country. Between Russia and the United States. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. Alright. So this is totally illegal. And it turns out Rudy Giuliani was all doing this too. He went to Ukraine many times. He went to Madrid many times to meet with people. Right now, Bill Barr is in Italy, I think, to do more business, but on the secret, on the down low. Like, he didn't tell anyone he was going to do it. Ugh. Here's the end of the line. That's $1 billion in $1 million chunks, $800,000 chunks, and that takes us here to the end of the billionaires line on in the overworld. That's $1 billion. So in the overworld, each one of these blocks is $100,000. So if I wanted, check this out. It says 100,000, 10,050 bricks from the start of Billionaire's line, right here. Yeah, 10,025, because I started it at minus 25. So if you want to see how long that takes in the overworld, we can do that. Every brick is $100,000. Anyways. So, oh god, so fine. So once, it's funny. It's really funny because Representative Al Green and Representative Maxine Waters have all called and filed articles of impeachment for like long time ago, from the beginning. Like, they didn't need to wait for anything. Like, it happened and they're like, all right, this is serious, let's do it right now. But Pelosi, who controlled everything, would not do it. She would not do it. It wasn't until it was revealed that Trump was going after Joe Biden that finally, the establishment Democrats decided to do impeachment. It wasn't until they went after the old rich white guy that they did impeachment. Oh yeah, sure. They weren't going to impeach if the only people who got hurt were Muslims or South Americans, refugees, little children. Oh, that's all fine if they're brown children. We don't care. All right. Oh, but you go after the old rich white guy. Oh, now we have a problem. That looks bad, Nancy Pelosi. And what looks even worse is that you're trying to whitewash it. You're trying to point to these other women and these white women saying, oh yeah, these white women freshmen, it's because of them we did impeachment. No, it wasn't. The progressives have been pressuring you for years. So, but finally we're moving toward impeachment. So, Remember, each one of these bricks is $100,000, and we're trying to get to $1 billion worth of wealth. Every brick is $100,000. So like every second we pass by 6 bricks, $600,000 every second. So like roughly every 2 seconds, not even 2 seconds, but almost every 2 seconds is $1 million. And this is how much is $1 billion. And then you have to think, Bill Gates has $97 billion of wealth. He has 97 billion of these things. It's so stupid. So finally, we're moving toward impeachment. Finally. I mean, I think when I started this show, it was with Captain Pones, who after a year he didn't really listen to me at all. Yeah. After how long? It's finally happening. So I guess you could say that this is the end of the beginning. That the hard part was to get the impeachment going. Now that the impeachment is starting to roll, it's going to start getting ugly. Because the thing that people have been warning you about is that Trump is a narcissist and he's a mob boss. So you have to look at it like that mob bosses, like, they have nowhere to go. Like, okay, so let's look at let's look at Trump's boss, which is Putin. Putin cannot leave power because the moment he shows weakness, someone's going to kill him. Someone's going to shank him and take the throne. That's the precarious position Putin is in. Sure, he rules Russia. Sure, he's got billions and billions and billions of dollars. But the moment he shows weakness, someone's going to turn on him and take his power and kill him. So he's stuck. He can never step down gracefully. He tried, right? He tried to like step down and have someone else take power, and it didn't work out. Things weren't working. So the same thing is with Trump. Trump can't step down. He's in debt to the Russians. So he can't, like the whole reason why he was over in Ukraine was to try to dredge up some excuse to pardon Paul Manafort, because that's, part of the deal, Paul Manafort's part of the party, or part of the, the family type thing. So, ooh, hey. So yeah, I was looking at Twitter before I came on here. Oh yeah. So Trump is not going to leave office gracefully. Trump, like, he's not going to do it. He's like, he was prepared to contest the election had he lost in 2016, and he is prepared to contest the election when he loses in 2020. And that's a if he loses, right? Because they've got, like, the Russians are all about, like, infiltrating our voting system again. Like, they did it all throughout the South. Like, they don't even have to infiltrate our election system. They infiltrate the companies who make the voting machines. And then they... So, and the companies are private, so you don't know what's going on with them. Like, I think it's dumb to make our voting system private. I think it should be publicly controlled and open source. But, what do I know?
So yeah. So I was I don't want to get too heavy because I want to get into this other thing. I thought it was interesting. Seth Abramson was talking about how, all right, if we have the on Twitter, if we have the Big Bang, we assume that the universe is expanding, right? But what is it expanding into? If it's expanding, so that means, well, what if there's a multiverse, right? Because if there's only, why couldn't there be additional Big Bangs elsewhere? Right? and then so why couldn't another universe be expanding into our universe? And so then he starts getting all like, "Ooh, my brain hurts." So here I come with my interpretation of stuff. So first, we have to go back to the fourth dimension, the Tesseract. So we have a cube, and we have. Let me do that real quick. Take this other one away, and do this one instead. All right, I'm gonna switch over real quick. We're on the Billionaires line still, right? We're still each brick is $100,000, and we're still trying to get to 1 billion. I have time, trust me. All right, this one. So this is a hypercube. This is a 4-dimensional cube that's projected in the 3rd dimension, and so it's rotating in the 4th dimension. So the way I interpret that is that the little cube is further away in the 4th dimension, and as it comes closer to the present dimension, it becomes our present, which then fades away into our past, which becomes our future again. Another way of looking at it is that it's the world imprinting upon us, and then us internalizing the world, and then us acting upon the world that changes it, and then that changed world then imprints upon us. So it's a dynamic of the world affecting us and us affecting the world, and back and forth. But when you think of time as a space, you have to think of it as a space. Like I can take my body. Here, let me go back to Minecraft. I can take my body and be here and assume the meditating position and be motionless for 1 minute. In XYZ, I will not have moved at all. However, I have moved in T, time. That direction I can't point in, that's the direction I moved in. So when they say the universe is expanding, that's what it's expanding into. It's expanding into T. Is it into that direction we can't point into? Because yeah, even though the monk hasn't moved an inch for 1 minute, when you look at it from the 4th dimension, that monk has moved from T0 to T1. And so when you look at when you go back to your how do you put that in? Oh yeah, like that. So when you go back to this, and you think about the 4th dimension, now, okay, here's another thing to remember. A point has 0 dimensions. 0 dimensions, no dimensions. So when you think of energy, energy has no mass. Energy is energy. There's no mass. So energy is also a point. So energy has 0 dimensions. So if you think of your consciousness, your brain, as a complex wave or a complex motion pulse of electricity, of biological bioelectricity, that electricity is energy, and energy has 0 dimensions. It's all pure mass. So if it's pure mass, it can go the speed of light, and when you go the speed of light, time becomes meaningless. Time is nothing once you hit the speed of light. So energy, being energy, is always going at the speed of light. So it's time is nothing, because it's a point. It's not like, it doesn't have mass, it's just a point. Okay. So you can move, if your consciousness is just energy, you can move it through, you can orient it differently. It's in multiple dimensions at once. That's what I'm trying to say. It's in multiple dimensions at once. And you may only be conscious of certain parts of it at once. Doesn't mean it's not in other dimensions. Okay, because it's pure energy. So you can't move it around. So if you take your imagination, right, and think about it, if you wanted to like step out of the 3rd dimension, move up a dimension into the 4th dimension, what happens is that you turn the 3rd dimension into a piece of paper. The same way that we take we can draw things on a piece of paper, and it's stuck in 2 dimensions, and we can look around it and do all the other crazy stuff to it, like because we're in 3 dimensions, and that's only in 2 dimensions. The same thing with when you step from the 3rd dimension to the 4th dimension. Everything that's in 3rd dimension right now that feels real, when you go into the 4th dimension, this becomes a block, an object you can manipulate. So think of it in terms of a gel. It's a big blob of gel. Okay, and your consciousness is, and in this blob of gel is a cloud. It's just pure cloudiness of probability, of pure probability, of anything possible, of all the possibilities, starting from the Big Bang. All the possibilities are contained within this gel. And then you, as an individual, as your consciousness, like begin at a point. And at that point where your consciousness begins, that pure gel of possibility, the cloud, it's just cloudy wispiness of possibility, collapses into a point of actual. And past that, your past is solid, it's concrete. It is actually what happened. So behind you is no longer a wispy cloud. It's rock solid. It's what actually happened. So your consciousness is the point at which the wispy cloud of possibility, quantum possibilities, the wave functions, collapse and are observed into the actuality of what actually transpired, and then boom, it flows into the past, and you're built upon it. The material is built upon it, and coded forever. It's coded. I need more coffee. Because remember, as individual humans, in our day-to-day life, when we're paying attention to like the world around us so we don't die, because remember, nature's trying to kill you. Nature's trying to kill you. You have energy and things want energy and they'll kill you to get it. That's the way it is. So you have to be aware of this world. So you have to, right? That's your anchor. To be here, you need to be aware of this place. But doesn't preclude you from being aware of other places too. Okay. So you have like a light cloud of like what you could possibly affect. Like how broad is your reach? What you can possibly affect, and that is your light cloud. If you're born, I mean, it doesn't mean that you cannot like you can. Actually, that's not even true, because you know what? Like a butterfly, like the chaos effect. A butterfly can make a typhoon on the other side of the world. Like I don't even know what I'm talking about. But yeah, your consciousness is like a string going through this quantum cloud, because all these other strings are going through too, right? All these other, and they're collapsing things around them as well. So when they collapse and they create gravity, a kind of quantum gravity, I guess, and your possibilities are kind of collapsed by their actions. And I guess you can open up new avenues too, right? By your actions. By who knows? You could go so wild with this in my head. But you're basically a bullet flying through, not a bullet, but like a piece of like wiggly string floating through a quantum cloud, and where you pass, you collapse the cloud into actuality. So the space that that the universe, the third dimension expanding is into, is the space that it's expanding into is time. Because for anything to move in the third dimension, you need time. If you don't have time, you're not moving. Like if you're point photon, I guess, doesn't move, then or isn't. If nothing moves, then nothing. Okay. If there's no time, things don't change. If things don't change, things can't move. If things can't move, then like nothing really exists. It's like music. You can't have music unless you have time. You gotta have time because if you want music. Oh, there! I finished the Billionaire's line. That was 1 billion. That was 1 billion. My goodness. Hold on, let me do that real quick. 1 billion. Let's take a look at that. Alright. There's PoGokeRo. There's where I live. This whole brick is $100,000. Alright. These 10 is $1 million. That's $1 million. And we just finished $1 billion. Bill Gates has 97 of these things. Imagine the power that he has. Jeff Bezos, all those guys. Chill right here. Yeah, I like this. This is like a beautiful pack. I like it. I had to tweak the colors a bit, but let's get the torches to be nice. But yeah, this is nice. So yeah, things are going down. Donald Trump is getting impeached. I don't think he's going to go nicely. He's probably going to call upon people, and they might listen to him. They might cause violence, and we don't want that. I think the original sin of the United States is violence. And if we can overcome that original sin, then we'll be great. The problem is that it's difficult to overcome the original sin. And here's the next thing. The American is the thing that threatens the planet. Because the way of life that America has is unsustainable. So if anything is to change, the American has to change the way they live. And I don't know how that's going to happen. Because I look out there and there's a lot of Americans who are working really hard and they're not wealthy. They're not rich. It's like, you can't do things the way we're doing it right now. It can't be done. I mean, you gotta really just imagine an entirely different way of doing things. I went to Burning Man and a few times. It was pretty cool. But the thing I learned is about a lot is trash. When there's no one to take away your trash for you, and you have to take care of trash, and when you have to pick up other people's trash, you start to notice things. And yeah, processing waste. It's like, I go to the store and I'm like, there's plastic bags. You use plastic bags to pick up to get your fruits and veggies. And all those plastic you use one time and then you like throw in the trash. Like, that's terrible. What a waste. How stupid. Could we not make? And then here's the thing: we could totally make. It's not like we're dumb. There's biodegradable, like bioplastics you could use. That you create out of plant matter that biodegrades. You know, after you use one time or a few times, you just throw it away or compost it or whatever. It biodegrades because it's just from a plant. You don't add anything to it. It's just a plant thing. The problem is it's really expensive. Why is it so expensive? Well, because, it's expensive. Well, we could use the government to support that industry so that it's not expensive, so it's cheaper. Because the other question is, why is plastic so cheap? If when you look at it, plastic is supported by ridiculous subsidies. We have the whole military-industrial complex is built upon oil, which is where plastic comes from. And no one talks about the military as being a subsidy for oil, even though it's a huge subsidy. I mean, it's half our budget, right? At least. As a huge subsidy to oil. We don't need that much just to protect ourselves. We need that to protect the oil. We should just get off of oil. We really should get off of oil. Oil is terrible. So that's why I don't get it. I don't understand why we haven't gotten off of oil. Alvin Weinberg built that molten salt reactor. I thought that was going to be great. I think we should be doing that and just doing nuclear everywhere. Or let's get fission. Let's get those aliens. Oh yeah, dude, talk about those aliens. So there's that video, right, of the there's that video of the Navy confirming that there is indeed a video of FBI or of this UFO that just moves in a funny direction you can't possibly do with modern technology. And I was thinking, you know what, that'd be totally easy to do if you had a part in the fourth dimension. If you look at the fourth dimension in terms of an actual space and not just time, you could stick an arm in the fourth dimension, have an arm as a counterweight. And then so what you would do is you would bend this arm in the fourth dimension, this place that you can't see, and then twist using that momentum to make it look like something impossible in our dimension, but it's, you know, if you look into the fourth dimension, it makes total sense. It's just the arm bend, you know, twisting it around. It's just its lever is in the its Archimedes point is in the fourth dimension. If you look at it in terms of space, a spatial dimension. Okay, man, what else is going on? I don't even know anymore. Like, I've been doing this show for every Sunday for so long. I don't even know anymore. Like, I would like if I had someone to join me, that'd be great, but I don't have anyone to join me. But I think the point was to like warn people about Trump, and I think now that we're moving to impeachment, it's almost like mission accomplished. But the thing is that I know that there's still some bad stuff to come. So I'm not sure, you know, maybe I should be playing more Minecraft and build something. I don't know what else to build. It's kind of no fun by yourself, building by yourself. I've been trying to get someone to join me, but it's difficult. Like, I guess I'm an old guy. I don't know. Je ne sais pas. But, yeah. Alright, I guess I'm done. For now. Let's see where this impeachment thing goes. Turns out that Trump is a traitor. Mitch McConnell's a traitor. The Republicans are traitors. Trump is not going to go down easy. I hope it's not going to be violent. I really don't want there to be violence. I'm all about the climate strikes. I might have to change my schedule to accommodate it so I can join in. But yeah, we need to make a change, America. We need to change big time, big time, big time. Like a total transformation. It has to be done. Because this meteor is coming. Of climate change, it's coming. If we don't combine wholly with our life force, we're in big trouble. Alright, America. Until next time. Peace. Hang in there, guys. Hang in there. Don't give up. Alright, PoGokeRo out. Stop streaming.